Hi guys, Artiar here. So I'm finally back from my Japan trip. So I actually took a short break before when I go Japan, and after coming back from Japan, it's like almost like 2 weeks. I got like a 2 weeks break from the game and also from in real life as well. Game is just like barely just log in and do some stuff. You will notice that I don't even make too much of content, no matter it's Artiar, Dislyte or Dislyte. So I get a good break. Okay, I got a good break, and now for today's video I'll be going to cover at this Candy Clash EX++ for high score. So currently this team comp that I'm going to showcase later is not made by me, it's made by Artiar. So he's the one that's sharing me all the candies combination he's going for, and also going for the high score. So if you're a player who just want to hit EX++, it's actually easy to actually play around with the candy. To hit EX++ Candy Clash is actually very easy. The hard thing is if you want to hit in rankings and you want to hit high score for this special animation profile picture, then you want to have a very good combination of the candies. Alright, so currently I don't have the candy combination because I took some break, right? I don't really grind a lot of the candy, so I miss out on a lot of the candy. I can't really make the combination out, but if you have the candy, you can go try it out. Alright, so the high score I currently have is actually higher than the global server one. Global server, at the top one, we have Bean's Daddy here with 832 at the start, right? But for him, he's actually breaking the high score a lot more higher. So I'm going to showcase his team, the candy, and how it works as the team idea. So I will show you the candy that he's using, and I'll show you the candy that I'm currently using that is not the final form, and also why he's actually using the candy here. So let's take a look here, the Meta Chuan one. So why is he using the book and also the thunder and also the thumb? So the first thing is we are using this combination is to manipulate the AP push. So we can keep on pushing our team by getting buff, and also whenever you get a buff, then you're gonna get an AP push. So if we take a look here in terms of the candies, right? What is the book buff? So every candy here is needed to have to be their highest quality if I'm showing you. So cause you see, the original purple book buff is only when an Esper gains a buff, you heals them, right? But if you have the yellow book, which is this Grace candy here, whenever you get a buff, you're gonna heal them, and then at full HP, you increase their AP by 15%. So you're gonna get an AP push every time you're gonna get a buff. And because you're gonna maintain your HP always in max, then whenever you get a buff, it's basically getting an AP push by 15%. So with a combination of this, you're gonna combine with the candy of the thumb. So what the candy thumb up does is giving you buff, the lucky candy, every time after a teammate takes action. So she does, Chuan doesn't have to take the turn. As long as your other teammate is taking the turn, then the Esper have a 50% chance to get one buff of a 8% stack. With the 8% stack is not an important thing. The important thing is when you get a buff, then you're gonna trigger this book candy, the Grace candy, and get a heal. And then when you have max HP, and then you're gonna get an AP push by 15%. So you're gonna stack with this book buff. You're gonna use the book buff here, and then you're gonna use a thumb up buff here. So you can heal them with AP push, and then with a thumb up. And the thunder here is to let you launch the assist attack whenever your allies takes action. Then you're gonna cast some additional damage. So this is for the Chuan part. Then the next one is going to be on the Nathaniel. So Nathaniel here, you want it to be this durian buff, this splash candy, because Nathaniel S1 is going to do very high damage, and then with Nathaniel splash damage on it, it's going to be a very good damage output. So you need this, and then you need the thunder here. So for every stack of the golden status effect on an Esper, increase their damage by 4%. This is basically boosting your damage output. And then for the last one, it's going to be the assist buff. So I'm using the purple one here, it's only 50%. Ideally you want to go for the yellow color one. So it's going to give you any 100%. So your teammate casts any ability, then Nathaniel is going to follow up with a S1, and the S1 here is going to have a splash damage of 40%, basically makes your Nathaniel become an AoE damage dealer. Then Nathaniel is your main damage dealer, the rest here is actually a supporter. Then the next one is going to be Liam. So Liam here is going for the book buff again. So book buff, as I mentioned, you're gonna get the max HP, and then you're gonna get AP push. So you're gonna have two book buff effect. So you're gonna get a 30% AP push here, and then you're gonna have a candy here, so additional chance to get the buff, cause 50% chance, right? So now you have 2 thumbs up, so you have 2 times to actually trigger the assist, the buff proc. Then the next one is the pursuit candy. for you to have a 100% chance to assist, so you can your limb here can help to do damage and also procs heal for your team, because you want your team to always have 100% max HP. So whenever they have 100% max HP, it's easier for you to proc the 15% AP push here. This is for Liam. Alright, then the next one is going to be Yamato. So Yamato here is basically as a supporter for you to push to provide additional damage. So Yamato here is going to use 2 hammer. 1 power candy here, when teammates deals damage, inflict additional damage, so 100% defense. And Yamato here is a defense killer, so Yamato actually gives a little bit more defense stats compared to the other Esper. So Yamato here have got to stack with the power candy and the other luxury power candy. So it's basically any teammate is going to do damage, they're going to proc additional 100% of defense and 50% of defense, makes it to 150% additional proc damage of defense killing. Okay, then also this one here, Esper healing plus 50%, because Yamato can proc additional heals from his passive, and because Yamato procs the heal, then you can extend all the duration buff. So Yamato here is acting as a supporter Esper to give your other Esper, whenever they do damage, they're gonna do additional damage based on the defense, and you can stack up to 2 different colors of candy, makes your Yamato just be a supporter to provide additional stats, additional buffs, and also heals as well. Then the last one is gonna be Gabrielle. So Gabrielle here is also like a supporter Esper, like cause Nathaniel is a main DPS, right? So you're gonna need the book buff again. So you have another proc of the AP push here, another 15%, and then you're gonna need the thumb up as usual, another 50% chance to get the buff, and then also the shoe, this shoe here. Whenever an Esper grants a buff to an ally, increase their AP by 15%. So if you are the Esper who have the book, also the book one currently we have like Chuan, we have like Liam, we have like Gabrielle. As long as they have the book, the grease buff, the grease candy, to proc the 15% AP push, and or going with the lucky candy to provide the buff, because you provide buff, you provide stuff, right? You'll provide the buff from the lucky candy, and then you're gonna get themselves and then 15% push. So it's this how you actually rotate your turn infinity, because whenever your ally takes a turn, then you have a chance to proc the lucky candy to give the buff 50% chance, and you proc the the additional buff, you're gonna proc the grace buff for you to get an additional AP push, and then you're also going to get benefit from Gabrielle here for another 15% push for the luxury buff. So let me show you the run that he actually went for. He's actually hitting the highest score currently, because in global my server here is not the highest yet. It can still go higher probably after this video show. You'll see more players actually getting more high score. Now let's take a look here. Alright, so I'm going to show you part of the clip here to actually see how the interaction goes, because you just need to see how the interaction goes. Then after that you check in game, then you can just keep on running it and see if you actually hit the high score. So at the start of the combat, everyone will get their buff like Rashomon, the Strife stack, everything here. And then the enemy here, they will just keep on dying, right? And then whenever you take an action, you have a chance to trigger the buff. And whenever you trigger the buff, you'll notice that there's actually an AP push here underneath them. And then when they keep getting AP push, let me make it, yeah, here, look at the AP bar. Your Esper here will keep on taking turns very easily and very often, because whenever your Esper takes the turn, they have a chance to apply buff. Whenever they apply buff, they're gonna get AP push, and also the Esper who gotten a buff will also get AP push. So your team here can just keep on rotating their turn very often, and the enemy rarely actually takes any turn at all, because you'll just keep on taking AP push until 100%. Okay, look at it. Look at the AP bar. The enemy mobs is not taking any turn at all, and your other Esper are just gonna keep on taking turn very often. And every time your other Esper takes the turn, Nathaniel is gonna have a follow up with a 100% chance to pursue, right? And then cast a S1 and then do a splash damage, and that's how you get the maximum damage out of all the Esper. Look at it, the AP bar. No one is actually taking the turn other than your Esper. Whoever is getting the more buff and then more AP push as well. So they will just keep on rotating this formula until the end of the battle. You see, after I skip it, they still remains. They don't take any turn at all, so you're actually taking all the turns as long as you're doing damage. Alright, so maybe it's starting to grow up a little bit, but yeah. Okay, then we go to the end. left a few more turns, and then when you reach the last one, the score even can't catch up. Alright, then the final hit is even laggy, right? Okay. Right, look at the score. Alright, so if you're a player who is actually enjoying the candy event and you're trying to get a high score, probably this one has actually managed to help you out to try to win for your avatar. Then all you need to do is just keep on rerunning and hope you actually proc more crits, proc more assists, proc more AP push, all these things. Then it will make your run a little bit more higher score, but just based on how many rerun you're gonna do, unless Bruiser here is actually going to change the whole team comp, or else this is actually the highest score at the moment. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed the video and see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.